Welcome to the Baking It Down with Sugar Cookie Marketing Podcast. This is your host, both Heather and Corrie. Someone said I had a voice for radio on my taste test challenge.
Did they say you had a face for radio?
They probably insinuated that. But welcome to the Baking It Down podcast. This is a spin-off from a group on Facebook called the Sugar Cookie Marketing Group. What we see from time to time, from week to week, day to day, is trials and tribulations, trends, things that people have questions on. And what we bring to your ear holes each Tuesday is one of those things. But me and Heather are actually pushing an initiative. Let
me explain. We said, okay, at the end of the day, the Facebook group is also a part of an algorithm, and the same marketing that we say bakers do, the group must do for itself.
It must.
To keep it value added.
Yeah.
But the algae is ever changing. So Corrie and I said, let's say if we structure the final 4 months of the year around a specific content topic each month. So September, being cookie class, is a great time to start.
It is. The reason why you're like, September, cookie class, you guys have been talking about cookie classes all year long. The thing is, the cookie class time to teach classes is coming upon us. September's out of the way. People are no longer traveling, and that means they are locked in, loaded for the holiday season. If you were thinking about teaching cookie decorating classes, you would want to start thinking about that now, because trying to teach a class in January, difficult. People have spent their money. The Christmas money has dried up. The bills are coming in.
Also, difficult in a different way teaching a class in Christmas. Because it's overwhelming response.
Yeah, it is.
So, and I said it, and I did a get ready with me.
Heather did a get ready. Get ready. What? G-R, ready with.
W-M.
Yeah.
I did a grum to this morning, and we talked about why I suggest getting started in cookie classes in September.
Yeah.
January, it'll break your heart.
It will.
July, you'll cry. September, it is a good dip your toe in time. December will also be overwhelming, but in the completely different way that January was.
Sure.
So for the month of
September,
we'll be posting and asking and polling and informing around cookie classes in the Sugar Cookie Marketing Group. What's the hashtag? You just used it.
Hashtag September cookie classes. Initiative. Just kidding, it's not initiative. It is the hashtag, if you want to look it up and be in tune with it, is hashtag September Cookie Classes Month.
Cookie Classes Month. And that's because that's the topic of the month. So we'll test this out and see if it works.
The reason why you'd want to consider teaching cookie decorating classes, I make custom orders every single week, and I teach classes a lot of times throughout the year. If you don't teach classes, that's a whole revenue avenue that you have canceled from yourself. To make a 24 cookie order takes a ton of time, especially if it's detailed, it's florals, you have a lot of colors, the theme is really intricate.
To watch 10 people mess up a cookie dozen order takes about an hour and a half.
It takes a lot less. Not discrediting the prep work of a class is a lot. It's involved, but it's not nearly as involved in neck breaking as decorating 24 hyper intricate cookies.
Right. It's a completely different product because it's a service.
Yeah.
And it's actually, according to your own state, it'll tax differently, but ours is taxed as a service, which is not taxed.
Yeah. So we've talked about cookie classes ad nauseum on here.
Ad nauseum.
So I said, let's do
the 5 things you should never do.
You should never do when teaching a cookie decorating class. And if you do these, forget this. Tune this out. Turn it down.
This is just what we have found is our best practice.
Best practice. Do you have number 1?
My number 1 is never pay for the venue if you don't have to.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. A lot of us pay for venues. Sure. We started off paying for venue. If you can find, so actually during this morning's Get Ready With Me, Brittany was like, one of the users asked, one of my fans, one of my Get Ready With My makeup influenced, they said, hey, I have a venue and they want to charge a flat rate. I actually prefer a flat rate rather than percentage of sales. But again, it's all a math problem. So if their flat rate is more than you're going to make, it's the wrong math problem. If their flat rate is predictable, then you can actually raise the rates of your tickets to account for that flat rate.
Yeah.
Now, percentage of sales means the harder you market, the more they make. Not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, all a math problem. However, Brittany, she said, I teach the cookie class kids. She said they came out with a 60-40 split. So I was saying in my live, play ball, because this is business.
Yeah.
It's offers, counter offers, counter offers.
Sure.
So she said, I came back at them at a 0-100 split, meaning they got nothing. She got everything. And she said, I pitched them. It was a winery. And she was like, I pitched them on, I'll market this. I'll fill it out. I'll make sure they buy wine while they're there. They took a risk. They said yes. Match made in heaven.
No way.
So
That's
she
great.
spends $0 on her venue fee, pockets all the cash, and helps them move product. Now, that's playing ball.
Yeah.
Because remember, it started off with a 60-40 or 40-60. It sounded like they took 40%.
Yeah.
40% of each ticket.
Yeah. That's a
lot.
Yeah. If you're thinking, if you charged $100, just for say your 60-40 would be $60 you get, $40 they get. That's quite a bit for someone just having a building.
Now, I see a lot of people, they suffer from venue-itis, where I can't find the perfect space, so I'm just going to keep putting it off, and I find the perfect space, and then the money they want's not it. Pit these companies against each other. Say, hey guys, I'm going to fill up this room. If it's your room, great. If it's their room, great. Which one of you is going to work with me better? It's like the essential buying a car strategy. Yeah. Who's going to give me the best deal? That's where I'm going to bring my business. You are the feature here.
Another thing to look for when looking for a venue is oftentimes people look for venue event spaces. Those places have like it locked and loaded as far as pricing. You're not going to get something free there because that's what they charge. If you can, look for places that are recently opened. They are not booked out. They don't have a book of business yet. But what you can do is in turn is be like, hey, I can put you on the map. I've been working for my cookie baking business in this area for a long time. A lot of people know me. If I could use your brand new venue event space, your, this room, your library, your coffee shop, I could put you on the map and get a lot of people to know about you while also being able to teach a class here.
And this is where knowing your numbers, not even a math problem, in terms of social media, like, hey guys, I have a Facebook page. It has 1,547 followers. My newsletter emails out weekly to 325 local service-based businesses or my local custom orders. And then I actually run a boosted ad regarding classes, and I'll be tagging your business in each of my posts. Now for this class, what I estimate is I'll be making 20 to 25 posts until the class book's out. And each of those is going to feature information about your new venue. That's how I would like to be approached as a business owner who's having a tough time wearing 17 hats.
Oh, for sure. And another way you can kind of incentivize them is, hey, if you let me use your event space, I'll give you a 2-minute elevator pitch at the beginning of the class that you can explain, what this place is about. We did a class at an AR workshop, which are quite common. They're nationwide, I believe, still.
Franchises,
Yeah, franchises. And we said, hey, if you let us use your event space, you can come and talk about the AR workshop and your workshop coming up for the first part of the class, like for a 2-minute elevator pitch. And they said, that's fantastic.
And what they did is said, if you shop in class, can you push that a little bit so it's not so taut? I'm just worried. No, just push a whole unit towards me. Thank you. Great. Corey's learning how to turn on the podcast equipment today, and she's doing so
good.
Now, in the Cookie College, this is not even a pitch for that, but we came up with 5 venues where I'd pitch before I paid.
Yeah.
Right? And again, my one little side asterisk, I get a lot of emails.
Sure.
I actually forget about a lot of emails. So if you email a venue, heard nothing back, email the venue again.
Yeah.
Don't email just say, hey, knocking again, until you tell me no. Like, if you don't want me, I'll leave you alone. But kind of really end back up in their inbox, because especially if they miss an email, your email went to promotions.
Yeah.
Try emailing a different way. Facebook pages are a really great way to get direct in contact with a business owner, especially for small businesses. We did winery, brewery, kitchen remodel showroom. Now that's where we teach because you don't have to pay, because it's not a venue for classes. So they're like, get our name out there. What else? Coffee shop.
And I think a boutique.
Yeah. Now you can do those dedicated spaces. If all of that fails, if you've emailed all these companies, nobody wants it, they all want to take too much of revenue, then you could go to a flat rate. Now we did what's it called? Workaway Solutions was what?
It was a remote business networking spot.
Yeah, so
co-working area.
A co-working area. So we rented out their conference room. Libraries, some people have good luck. Sometimes libraries don't allow for-profit businesses, but definitely community centers. HOA community centers. Just some ideas there.
Yeah.
So that was mine. So do not pay for a venue.
Okay, mine. And if you don't do this, that's totally fine. Don't just list the classes right before the holiday.
Okay, This is a good one.
me and Heather at the beginning of each year will sit down in January and map out what classes we want to teach during the year, and then we'll put them all up at once. You're like, putting up a Christmas class 365 days from the class?
I'll let you know, it's September 2nd and my Christmas class is booked.
It's booked. And it's because instead of marketing hard, where we're like, oh, we have to get butts and seats right now, we'll post it in January and people will just trickle in. So the classes we teach throughout the year, Heather will be like, hey, listen, our Christmas class sells out. So if you want to get in there, we've done $0 paid marketing to book the Christmas class, and it's already booked.
Because I'm able to use the people. So when they're having a good time, and I usually say when the class ends on a high note, I'm like, hey guys, if you like this, I'd love to see you again. We love returning class students, right? And then I said, and I'd love to see you in our October class, which does book out, and our Christmas class, which is guaranteed to book out. So beat grandma to get in that one, because, and then they all run and book it. Now we used to not do it this way. We used to post them a month and a half out. Oh, fine, you can do that. And it allowed us more flexibility in our schedule, because we're like, when are you free? When am I free?
Yeah. But I want to say it got very dicey between me and Heather when we were like, we still have 3 seats that aren't taken. And we're stressing because we want the class to be booked. We're going to be, our bodies are going to be there anyways.
Might as well have every bun and seats if we're going to be there.
So instead of actively marketing, which would be posting it a month and a half out and really like pushing the classes, we did passive marketing where we posted it at the beginning of the year. And as the class came, we'd say, hey, how many seats are still open? For the Halloween class, there's 2. Okay, let me see if I can't push and just get the 2 booked real quick. But right now, we don't even have to clog our social media with the Christmas class because it's already booked.
So, and you're going to say, well, then what are you posting about? But here's what I say. And now, in a perfect world, I want to do this. Corrie's mixing bowl company is her own. I have no, I do help her with them. But it's not my thing. But I am involved 50-50 in the cookie classes one. So we did create a Facebook page for the cookie classes one. So when a class is booked, what am I posting? Tips and tricks.
Tips and tricks. That keeps people coming back. So if they're a past class attendee and maybe they're booked and they can't do anything in September, they might be able to come in October's class. It's just staying top of mind without feeling salesy 24/7. What you don't want to do is book your Christmas class and then keep trying to sell your Christmas class. You're going to create people that are frustrated.
Yeah, so that comes a little bit of my issue of scheduling. I'm a big scheduler, right? Yeah. So I try not to schedule content that drives people to classes. Now, what you could do if you say, well, I want to make some cookie class money, you could say, hey guys, this class is sold out. If you use Eventbrite, you can get a wait list. You could say something like, if I can get 10 people on the wait list, I'll open up another time slot.
And we've done that before too. We've said, like, look, there's 5 people on the wait list. That's above our minimum amount of people there. So let's open another class, see if we can't get another 5 people in.
Yeah, we used to be a lot more aggressive in our class schedule. I guess we just were in the money-making mood. But we used to teach 3 classes on Saturdays.
Yeah.
And then one time we did 3 classes on a Saturday, and this was Christmas. And I talked about this in the Get Ready With Me. We said, what if we didn't say no to any cookie class door knock? So we did 3 classes on a Saturday. We did 4 classes on a Sunday the next day.
Yeah.
And that last class was a private class for 15, 12 and 13-year-old girls.
Young teens.
And it ran so
wild.
I've never been that tired of my life. So that's why Christmas class is great. Now you might be saying, this is my first class. I'm going to put up 7 classes just like they did. We were still.
I was so tired. It was, you've talked about burnout, that was burnout.
And we said, well, now we know the answer to the question. It's a no. Don't do that.
Yeah.
But I like that listing it out. Now you may say, well, I don't know what my Q4 looks like in Q1. Don't worry about it. When the class isn't booked at all, when there's 0 tickets, you can still move around that day.
Yeah.
So I'll make Corrie and I will sit down and we'll be like, okay, what months do we want to teach? Here's the thing. You might say, well, I don't know what I'm going to teach there. I don't either. I actually say, here's an example of what your class may look like, but designs will vary as we get closer to the day. Yeah. And then at cookie class, I'll be like, hey guys, that picture is going to be similar to the content, but we actually got a fresh new class coming. I'm excited to teach it. So, and I know people are like, but they are going to sign up. One time, Corrie and I just were like, let's just teach a different class than the one we had in the picture. And nobody said a word. No. Nobody cared. And I told them when I got there, I was like, guys, I mixed it out for you. I found something better. I think you're going to like it more. Yeah. So I think people kind of put that roadblock in there where it isn't. And I'm telling you it's not, because I've done it so many times. Yeah. And in fact, my Christmas class is booked, but it will not be the class we're teaching. You're right. There's just a placeholder. So what's your next do not? My next do not is do not teach an intermediate class. Yeah, starting off with intermediate classes, it may make you feel good, like you can show off, strut your stuff and things like that. The problem is you don't want a class of new people to feel super bad. Here's the thing. Corrie and I use a very loose 15-second flood. Not because that's the best texture.
It's not even the icing that I use for my own cookies.
It gives them more flexibility. And I tell them, I said, in this class, I said, you're going to have a lot of elbow room because we've baked it in so that you have a better experience here. So what you want everyone at the end of class is not to think you're great.
No.
We don't care what they think about
They
how
could
you
care
decorate.
less about you.
We want them to feel great.
Yeah.
When people leave on a high note, when they impress themselves, they will be excited to tell somebody else and bring them. So we had this one lady. She really wanted to impress herself. She really liked how it turned out and has since brought every sister to show them. She's like, I bring them up to show them I'm better than them.
Yeah.
So that fact, what if she was really downtrodden?
She wouldn't have come back because you're discouraged. So me and Heather have tried to introduce intermediate-ish stuff. One time we did a snowflake and it was a white base with a thicker icing top. That was not good.
It was leading to a riot.
They were frustrated that it didn't look like mine.
That was the cookie in those 7 classes.
It was.
It was.
And I said, whoa.
I still have PTSD. So what I think is, and we talked about this in the Cookie College this week, when you finish up a class, a lot of people will feel like they did really well.
Yeah.
They'll come up to you and they'll say, do you teach any intermediate classes? What I say is, no, we don't. But we introduce intermediate techniques in our beginner classes so that in each class, you actually walk away with something you would learn in an intermediate class. It's a lot of texturizing, wet on wet. What other stuff do we do?
We do we use the back of the scribe to create texture, things like that.
So kind of like that stuff. And there's some more sleight of hand that I see.
Yeah.
Some line work.
Line work.
Some font.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that. We do transfers.
Transfers, sprinkles, very, very basic stuff. So you'd be like, that's not intermediate. It's intermediate for someone who's never done this before.
Yes, and that's the key here. I told this on the Get Ready With Me. I said, someone's always going to ask you for an intermediate class. And what I tell them is, I'd be happy to set up an intermediate class for you guys if you can find you and 9 friends. We can seat 10 in this venue. Mm-hmm. Because you got to think about it this way. For me to teach an intermediate class of 2, I will make far less. Well, I'll charge them $350. I'm sorry, we pull $850 to $1,000 in an open beginner class. So that private class, I want to pull $850 to $1,000. I actually should increase the ticket price.
Absolutely.
But here's the thing. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Never have we ever sold a private class at 10, and it's because I think that the person just had a really good experience.
They did.
And they're actually still
on a high, and they're like, this was so good. Here's the reason why that they did so well and they're on a high is because you created a class that they could succeed at.
They felt talented,
they felt
which
good.
is a goal.
Yeah.
So that's why we actually always teach beginner classes with intermediate single techniques, and I narrate it while we're there. So this technique you'll actually use for this and that, the other.
I know as cookie decorators, we want to show off a little bit. Show off the techniques that we've learned over the years. And I love that for us. The problem with that is they're not there to oogle and ogle over you.
They want to oogle and ogle over themselves.
Yeah. So when you can sit up there, and I can tell, sometimes I decorate in class. Oftentimes I'll decorate a set. They're like, oh, you make it look so effortless. And I have to say, listen, I do this every single day. So don't hold, I almost am like, should I be decorating? Because I don't want to be discouraging to the people who are like, why did her icing come out of the bag better?
Right. But it's a good way to stay on par with beginner, to say, hey, if you practice the beginner, this is where you'll get.
Yeah.
And I think that that's actually what those, do you have an intermediate class, people are asking? I don't think that they're necessarily going to enjoy themselves when you do a stiff, lettering.
Yeah.
With a projector, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But if you teach intermediate classes, more power to you. Love you.
More power to you.
I don't do well with a 2-hour class mentally.
Yeah, mentally.
So again, you got to kind of bake in your own happiness as well.
Don't.
Okay.
Don't create a class where you have so many different icing colors.
Okay.
A class with 7 different colors is going to look better and more cohesive than a class with 4 colors, because 4 colors is hard to make cohesive through 6 cookies. Let me tell you.
So in the cookie class kits we teach, there's always 6 cookies and 4 icing colors. And Corrie, and I gotta say, she was like, sit your butt down and you're gonna help me do this. And I was like, wow, this is very difficult to make a theme limited to 4 colors. That is also cute.
That makes sense.
So so let's talk about the Halloween class, which will drop this.
Yeah.
You have a skeleton head.
We have a skeleton head. We have a pumpkin, a jack-o'-lantern specifically.
Okay.
A ghosty with the mosty.
Love it.
A candy Gwen.
So you can kind of hear, hear in her description what these colors are going to be.
There's orange, white, black. Oh, we have a bat.
Yes.
What's the last dude?
You are missing a ghost. Oh, did you say ghost?
I said ghost.
A hat.
A witch's hat.
So we've got white, black, gold, and orange. So that's why I say, if you don't want to do the hard work of this, if you only want to keep the class like to an hour and a half, just buy the class kits from us. And yeah, that's a shameless plug, because everyone who tries to recreate a class is like, I get why that's hell on earth.
When I sit down to make these classes, it's no small feat. And I've been doing this for many, many years. So like the options are running out, am I right? But when you have 7 different icing colors, you can create a super cute class with that. You have so many more options. The problem is your prep work for the class has now doubled.
What we say is, I know people who teach classes when they're like, it's icing bagging day.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Yeah, because remember, everything you do is multiplied by how many people's butts will be in seats.
So creating 4 times 10, what's 4 times 10? 40? That's 40 bags of icing I have to do on a cookie class day, the night before.
The night before, because you want them to be fresh. You don't want them to unincorporate them out.
Yeah, something like that. But if I were to make 7 bags, 7 times 10, that's 70. That's twice the amount of work.
I know.
But will the class be super cute?
It will.
So stinking cute.
But will the class be a lot longer?
It'll be a lot longer, but you have to realize, you're like, well, I'm clearing $800 for my cookie class, not when your prep is twice as long.
Your cost, your ingredients cost, and your time costs exceed mine.
Oh, it's so much more.
So, and I know Corrie always hates to be limited to the 4-6 ratio. However, we're here to help you maximize profits, and that's probably the minimum size we could do while still producing a class we would want to take, while still maximizing profits, which is a thing to juggle.
Yeah, so we've taken classes before, and it's like been 2 colors or 3 colors, and it wasn't quite enough. But I have really fallen in love with 6 different designs, 4 different icing colors. And I can teach that in 1.5 hours.
I like it.
Yeah. So don't do yourself a disservice. I know classes can be super cute when you have 52 colors. Believe me.
They are cuter.
But you're going to hate yourself.
You're going to hate it.
That's so many colors, so much prep time.
Again, the balance. What makes the student happy, but the baker's not suffering?
Yeah.
And it's,
and
it's that.
Yeah.
Here's my number 5. This is going to be a sales pitch. Don't start from scratch. So I don't know, you're like, well, you're biased. Yes, I'm biased, because I know the hell of starting from scratch. Yeah. When we first started teaching classes back in 2020.
That was hilarious time.
We would just double overlapping with how ridiculous and ugly everything was. So much that Corrie and I would just eat the cookies so nobody had to witness that it existed, because we were brainstorming how to do this. And we settled on the 6 and 4 ratio. But why reinvent the wheel? So I love it. In the Cookie College, we have some members that volunteer to create their own classes. Yeah. This is very nice, very, very generous of them. But they'll always be like, I didn't realize how much work.
Every single time.
Thought, steps, prep. So, and there's a bunch of people that teach class kits. I'm biased. I like ours. It's beginner. It's very easy. We teach them ourselves. We will be teaching them next month. So don't start from scratch, because you're going to say, wow, this is also overwhelming. So what I don't want to hit a baker with is overwhelm in every aspect. It's overwhelming to stand in front of people. Yeah. It's overwhelming to reach out to a venue and try to say, can I get it for free? Yeah. It's overwhelming to fill a class. But now it's overwhelming to also prep for the class. Yeah. Not when it's like, okay, what do we do? The Cookie College is $76 right now. The Cookie Class Kits is $63. Yeah. If you do the Cookie College, you get 33 of these classes right off the bat. Yeah. If you do just the class kits, you get 9 or 10 classes, depending on when this one drops on the 7th. And it is the marketing photos. And that was what Brittany said. She was like, at the end of the day, even if it's overwhelming, I don't have to do any of the photography, the steps, the PowerPoint. I don't have to do the math. I don't have to source the colors. You guys are just telling me exactly where to plug and play. And for that reason, if you're thinking about classes, biased me, yes.
In class, we actually have a PowerPoint. I have a 32-inch TV that I bring, and I set it up in class. We hook it up to my laptop, and the Cookie Class Kits has a PowerPoint, and you go through each single step. So I actually, before a kit is created, a Cookie Class Kit, I have made that set 3 times. 3 times. In those 3 times, I've decided which step needs to come next in the class, so it's crusted over enough that someone can put icing on it, but it's not too loose that when someone moves it, it cracks the icing, because that's frustrating. People are like, why is my icing cracked? So what I've done is created that set 3 times, and the 4th time is the one that I photograph.
Amazing. You put a ton of work. And I was telling people, when people say, well, I'll just make my own class, you got Sweet Pink Olive. You got Sweet Pink Olive's sister-in-law, whose name I do not know. Yeah. It's Claire.
She's an angel baby.
You have Corrie, and then you have Heather. And you have each of us putting in around, it takes me around 2 days. So I'm going to say 8 to 10 hours for the production of the class, which is the PowerPoint, organization, the math, the copy, social media, and stuff like that. Yours, you're making this 3 times. So how many, and then you're photographing it, and then you're doing set photography.
And then I'm coming up.
Oh, I'm sorry. And then you're coming
with
up
the design.
How
That's the
many
hardest
hours
part.
do you think is involved?
I think it's 2 full days.
2 full days. And then you have Sweet Pink Olive and her sister-in-law who actually do the designs, working with Corrie with the ideas, and they do a couple iterations of it. So you got a lot of hands up. Now imagine you had to do that by yourself.
I know, and you absolutely can. But if you're like, I want to be successful in classes right off the bat, I don't want to have a huge learning curve.
If anything, start with a template and then learn how it is and then make your own. I think you'll still come back to us because you're like, that's ridiculous. But here's what I'm going to say. If you sign up for the Cookie College, $76, not chump change, right?
Right.
But there's so many classes. Each class comes in around to $2.
$2. And I want to tell you, for that much work,
it works because people who stay in the college make it worth it. However, you can capitalize on not being around for, it was the Cookie College had its 4th birthday 2 days ago. So 4 years of Cookie Class Kits, 3 years. I think we started in 2022.
We did, a year late.
3 years of class kits brings your cost down to the $2. Let's say you're in for 1 month and you got 33 classes and you're like, screw you guys, I'm done after this. I got everything I wanted. If you signed up today, you would get, you'd be cutting it close. I'd sign up on the 7th, get an extra class in the end. But
if you were to join the college for the month, you'd have 3 different Halloween classes to teach.
Yes,
that's great.
Right.
Especially if you have 3 different venues. If someone wants a private class and you're going to teach one class publicly and the private class gets its own, that's 3 different classes. For October, 3 different ones for November, and then 3 different ones for December.
And that's why I say, just don't start from scratch. Somebody else has already pulled out their hair in your honor, and I bought the hair regrowth serum.
Don't you see my hair?
Boss Blondes.
Yeah, right.
That was mine.
That was number 5, though. You said a list of 5.
Give me 2. Give us each. Give one more.
Okay. Okay. Don't think that you can just explain the steps in the class. People are so visual.
I know.
So if you're like, okay, now go around the skull and leave his eyes open. That, to me, as a baker, I know what you're saying. To someone who's never decorated a cookie before in their life, they have no idea what that is.
I'm going to say how Corrie explains it. We have the PowerPoint. It's on a TV. Okay, some people don't like TVs. Okay, don't worry about it. We have the playlist, which is a single PDF page with all the steps in it.
And I just print that out.
Yeah, I find that nobody uses that. Corrie still prints it out. Then we have Corrie decorating in front of them.
And then what I've recently done is pre-baked the cookies like before class, and I put them in this, what do you call those?
They're display cases.
Yeah, display cases, so it's in front. And Heather will hand them around to people.
Surprisingly, people like to see what I just described.
Yeah.
So that's 4 different places where we're describing the step. And what works. It's surprising to me, though, even in 4 different places, there's still people that just go off script.
And Heather will be like, your skull is going to be great, and I hope you're okay with that. He'll look good.
I'll say, hey, Sarah, that wasn't the step we took there, but I love what you're doing. It's your class. Make it your own. However, if you wanted to follow curriculum, I can help you start over. But if not, let's have a purple skull.
What we've learned is when people are less frustrated and more proud of their work, they're more apt to suggest the class to other people. They're more apt to come back. So when their cookies look like my cookies, they really want it to follow step by step what it looks like. So having more places for them to see what the next step is versus thinking like a lot of people thinking about teaching classes are like, oh, I'm tech challenged, I'm not going to do that. It's very hard to explain the next step. Okay, we're going to do a mouse, but leave his tail blank because we're coming to that later. What does that mean? Leave his tail blank. I understand what it means. The people in the class might not, and you're going to have like crazy looking mouse tails.
Sometimes mice tails, mouse's tails?
Mice's tails.
Moose tails is the correct English. Kidding.
Kitten with it.
Here's an interesting one that I thought is what I'll do is I'll say, hey, everyone, I want all eyes up here for this one. It's a little bit of a confusing step. And I'm going to say, hey, I want you guys all to look at Corrie real quick. People we're sheeples. I love being a sheeple myself. Tell me what to do. And I say, everybody, eyes up here. Let's just see what Corrie, everyone, can you see what she's doing? Feel free to come up here and let's just breathe down her neck.
Yeah.
And see what she's about to do.
I was like, wow, I'm sweating. I feel the pressure right now.
And that brings me to my number 7.
What's your number 7?
Don't do it alone. I love making money, right? Yeah. I love the thought of it. So having a partner immediately takes my dollar down by 50%.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shoot. But I've had Corrie my whole life. So I've really not known lack of partnership.
You have not.
Corrie and I are husband and wife. You guys didn't know. We're twins. So what I do is, and I said this on this morning's Get Ready With Me. I said that while I'm making 50% less, I'm able to handle 100% more.
Yeah.
So I'm not making less. Let's say I walk away with 75% when I could only have walked away with 50% because I couldn't teach as many people.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I can speak from authority here. I don't know how to bake and decorate. I can get in a pinch when Corey has to walk away to do something. I'm gonna get the rat's tail. However, it's gonna, because we're able to partner with that. So somebody in the Get Ready With Me is like, there's just too much market saturation. And I said, partner up. Let's do this together.
Sure.
If we could teach, and our venue only limits us to 10 chairs, but if we could fill up a venue, I think we could handle 20.
Absolutely. We could handle 25 if we're both walking around and making
35?
sure. 45 it is.
Maybe 50.
Okay. Here's the thing. A lot of you have spouses. A lot of you have teenage kids. Those are great aspects to help you. One, with the prep work. So you're like, well, they're not really good at the decorating part. Have them help with the prep side of it because you'll be nice, fresh, bushy-tailed for the class the next day. Your spouse comes in, helps you set up and tear down. That's great. That's
Nate
absolutely
will listen
great.
to this podcast?
Huh?
Do you think Nate will listen to this podcast?
Nate has helped me do a few helicopters in his day.
Nate has done it. Now, on the flip side, if you say, well, there's a lot of bakers in my area, knock on their door. Hey, do you want to partner up? Do you want to see if we can find a venue that does seat 25 people and we can raise our rate? Here's the thing. I was telling people, it's not that I am just seating 10 more people, seating 20, right? And now I've halved what I make, so I really broke even.
Yeah.
No. Because there's two instructors, I can increase the price per ticket as well.
Absolutely. Okay. Or if you think 2 instructors, you've halved the prep time. Now both of you, one's prepping the cookies, one's prepping the icing. So you have more of a day that you could finish that custom dozen that you took.
Right. And it really does help to have 2 people because, okay, when Corey's off fixing, sometimes you have those little prom students that like a lot of hand holding. Yeah. And Corey's going to hand hold. But when Corey's over there in the corner trying to walk somebody through a technique we've passed 3 slides ago, I'm able to take the rest of me, and they feel like it was a better value added because yes, that person got a little bit too much time and attention. Yeah. But nobody was left behind.
Yes.
Right? Because I can say, hey, everybody, we're going to let them work over there, but what I'm going to take you guys through so we make sure we end on time. I want to respect your schedules. Yeah. We're going to go move on to the next slide. And if you're behind, no worries. Let me know when you want me to flip this back. I'll show you what it looks like.
If you go through each one of these things that we just did, the last 7 things, what you hear is that we're setting each student up for success because success equals returning people and returning people equals more money. So when someone feels that they are attended to, so you have 2 people that are teaching the class and one baker's able to go around and make sure that everyone's lines look good. They are going to be set up for success. They're having a good time in class because their cookies look more like the baker's cookies. When someone is able to have fewer icing colors, it's less havoc on the baker. It's less havoc on the people. Actually, the messiness of a cookie class, some people are just insanely messy.
Honestly, it should be studied.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
So imagine having that many bags of icing around you. They can't even handle 4, let alone 7.
If you can't tell which twin has to make the icing for class, I hope you can tell. It's not me.
I hate it.
Yeah. And it's just a lot of prep work. So you got to think in terms of the holistic value of the cookie class, of which we obviously stand atop a mountain and say money printing season. Yeah. And that's because we limit the effort, which is time cost, labor cost, and we limit the time, which is time cost, and we limit the ingredients, which is ingredients cost, and we increase the ticketing price because we have better marketing. And that puts more money in the baker's pocket, which makes you want to do it again.
When I see bakers are like, I didn't like teaching classes, it didn't go well. That's a loaded statement right there because it didn't go well in what aspect? The students were frustrated because that's a baker issue. What did you do in class? Were you not attentive enough? Did they not know what the next steps were? Did you overwhelm them? Because that's on you. That's not necessarily that classes don't work. That's something that you did in class didn't work.
Mm-hmm. Now, there's something, the baker could be the best class teacher and you have a bad apple student.
Oh, there's bad apples.
There's rotten attitude students. Yeah. And were you able, and that's where having 2 people really comes into play. I can tell at the beginning when somebody's going to be a problem. Yeah. And Corey will kind of let me own him.
I'll be like that. I'll be Heather's child.
You'll own the frustrated person. I'll own the problem child. Yeah. Unfortunately, my voice, I wish it carried because I can't, when they're talking over me, I can't do anything there. But otherwise, I try to kind of like reference them a lot. Yeah. Take them out of their stupor. Yeah. I'm going to add an extra one.
Sure.
And I'm sorry, I just blanked on it, but it was a great one. It was actually wild. The thing that'll probably change your life because I can remember it.
Well, hopefully she'll remember it in her next Get It Ready.
Oh, here's mine. Don't cancel class.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. If you're listening and you and I asked them in that Get Ready With Me, is there anybody who started teaching classes and stopped? And usually it's typically because it's overwhelming or you move to a new area. Okay, many reasons. If you said, I'm interested in either getting started in my first cookie class, which I've seen a lot of people in that poll, they said, I've got one, my first one scheduled. If only 4 people signed up, I would still teach it because it's going to be a great introductory class for you.
One, you can get a lot of content from it. So just having a class under your belt, knowing like, ooh, I was a chatterbox. I talked way too long at the beginning and then we had to rush through the cookies. It's good to know that. Heather knows at 30 minutes, we need to have one cookie under the belt to finish class in time. So if you have one class where we taught our sisters and my mom in our first class.
And we didn't make any money. So what I'm saying is if you have a September class, it's your first class ever, and you only get 4 people to sign up. You didn't only get 4 people. You got 4 people. You got 4 people to reach into their wallet. Teach that class still. Eventually, you'll have a class minimum. Where at the end of the day, it is a math problem, right? We can't work for free. We can't work at a loss. For our first class, though, we can work for experience.
For experience, for marketing content, for customer reviews.
You'll see that I always add this a lot. Like start with a slow burn class. And I like it when it's friends and family. Of course, they're a little more jokey. So when it's 4 people, because what I don't want is for you to take a giant bite out of cookie classes in Christmas. You sell out of 3 classes that you've never done this before, and the overwhelm breaks your spirits.
Yeah, where you're like, I'm just so burnt out. I have to cancel last class.
Or I'm never teaching classes again. That was overwhelming. But a lot of you guys, I know you're thinking, well, they're talking like they're selling out of every class. We are. But we've been doing this for 5 years.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect that. Our first year, I don't think we ever fully sold out of a class. We have made a lot of adjustments to how we market so that we now can. But I don't think selling out of a class means you're successful. I think teaching a class means you're successful.
Yeah, for sure. If you had 9 out of 10 people show.
I think that first year we could seat 10 to 11. We mostly booked 8.
Yeah, 8 to 9.
8 to 9.
Yeah.
And I wasn't opposed.
No, it was still good.
Yeah.
That was back to back to back. That's where the Saturdays, I was so tired.
The longest Saturdays. We only had 30 minutes to turn the room over, and it was COVID central, meaning everyone had to wear a mask. We had to wear these dog collars.
Yeah.
These dog cones.
Yeah, we did.
And
we did it. We did. I've never been so tired in my life.
Disinfect everything. It was truly just a full commitment.
Yeah. But on that note, the next Cookie Class Kits is dropping on September 7th.
Right around the corner. Picture of it blurry.
Yeah, it's so
blurry
adorable.
In the Wednesday newsletter that goes out tomorrow.
It's very stinking cute. So it's Halloween themed. We give you over a month. We try to give you a month and a half to be able to book your class and to be able to fill seats, especially if you're like, ooh, I resonate with this. I would love to teach this.
That is why, confusingly, the class that will drop will be called an October class, but drops in September.
Yeah.
I understand it's confusing. We could not figure a better way to say, if I said it's an October class in October, and then you're going to think October's Halloween, but it's Thanksgiving. I also think that's confusing.
I know. It is confusing. But it is how it is. And it's been that way for 3 years.
The next 3 classes will be the one, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. Yeah. And I've seen what Corey's ideas are, and I like them.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Cookie College, which we intermittently added through here. So the Cookie College is a membership that we sell. You can do a monthly, you can go month by month, which is great, or you can sign up for the year and get 2 months free.
Yeah.
Which means you get a year of Cookie Class kits, and 2 of those were free.
Yeah.
The Cookie College has 5 different memberships. The Cookie College is the membership that includes all the memberships.
Yes.
And I understand that the Cookie College is the entity which owns the memberships, and it is also the name of one of the memberships.
But the Cookie College is courses that is designed to really make you efficient in business. What we said when we first started the Cookie College is the Cookie College membership gets everything. So it gets everything that we offer.
To fully disclaimer, the Cookie College was the only membership. That's why it didn't need any delineation between its other names. As the years have passed, 4 years of content, we found that some people are like, I don't want the whole package, I just want the class kits. So the Cookie Class kits came out, but the Cookie College still gets that because remember, they're the original baby. They get everything. They're spoiled firstborns. Then we have the Cookie Class kits. It's just the class kits for this year. They archive at the beginning of each year, so you get anything that's been added up until this point, and on the 7th of each month, you get something new.
Nice.
Then we have the Baker's Business Basics because people said, I like the Cookie College courses. They're a little bit more advanced. I just need a place to start.
Yeah.
This is 13 foundational courses. I include the transfer club. This is 13 foundational, and I include a discount code to jump up to the college. That was the whole point of this one. If you don't know where to start here. My thanks to you for getting the fundamentals right is Cookie College at $68.
Yeah, if you're turning from hobby and you're like, no, I think I could sell a few of these things.
That's where you're going to want to go.
Yeah.
The Cookie College also includes those. So you get the point here, right? What I would do. If I'm listening to this podcast, I would say, so you're telling me, Heather, I could sign up for the Baker's Business Basics, $36. I could sign up today.
Yeah.
But I know that your system doesn't double bill me. So I could essentially get that discount code for 68, right? Follow me?
Yeah.
And I could then immediately go to settings, plan, change plan, go to the Cookie College, use that discount code and get that discount. That was only available in the Midsummer membership sale weeks ago.
Yeah.
Are you telling me I could do that?
Sure.
I'm not telling you can't. I'm not telling you no. Now we've added the digital downloads. The digital downloads actually, oddly, has been the second longest standing membership. And it predates the Cookie Class Kits. The digital downloads has gone through a couple different rebirths. And I think I finally settled on what makes me
very, very cute.
Happy. And it's a digital download kit. So each month, that's a $10 a month membership. You get a kit. It includes a cookie card, cookie tags. It includes a transfer sheet. It includes the STLs you can print at home. It includes a pattern. And it all matches one single theme. So the digital downloads kit is actually done. Corey's working on some photos of it. Yeah. But it is a pumpkin face.
It's very cute.
Thank you for all you boo.
And that is fantastic for teachers around the Halloween season.
The Halloween season. Let me see. My YouTube. I gotta reward my YouTube peeps. So
why? Why are you rewarding YouTube people?
I'm gonna show them what it looks like.
Very beautiful. Very beautiful.
You get all that in the Digi Downloads YouTube. Podcast ears don't know what you're missing out.
Very, very cute.
But then last up is a transfer club.
Yeah.
And it's a $2 transfer club. It's actually included in all our memberships. I think I've added 10 transfers this month.
Nice.
I'm sorry, September. I've added 0.
Yeah.
Every month you get a new set of transfers, and you get the transfers that have already been added, which is over 230.
Nice.
For $2, bringing each transfer sheet to less than half a penny.
All right. Moving on to the STL Me About It segment. We only had how many calls last time? There wasn't a twin. There wasn't a twin.
Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8. That's a ton.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's another local baker in my town who seems to be out for blood. She constantly takes digs at my work on her own page, submitting complaints to her state on myself and any new bakers. I've been using your mentality of not focusing on it, but is there any other input or suggestions on how to handle that? It would be great. Okay, Hartford, Connecticut. You can wipe your tears with a free month of the Cookie Design Lab. Code TWINS saves you 15%. I think their sale might be going on for another day, but I have to check.
Yeah.
However, you, Hartford, get a month of that for free. If you are new to STLs, this is a very fun little web app to make STLs. That's what I use to make the digital downloads. So email me, Hartford. But Corey, do you have any feedback? That's a great question.
That is a great question. A lot of times when you see bakers attacking other bakers, they're looking side to side. It's because they're not confident in their own selves, so they have to go out for other people, because if they can degrade another baker, they feel better about themselves. Mm-hmm. What I would do is still keep those blinders on, but I would try to make your content more showcasing what you can do. So, hey guys, I just wanted to let you know, here's my cottage food license number. Here's everything that went into me getting my cottage food license.
So don't address.
No, we're never going to address it, but we're going to make ourselves be confident in ourselves, because the only one we can actually do anything about is ourselves. We can't do anything about Baker, Nightmare Lady, our man, but we can focus on ourselves. So, hey guys, I just wanted to show you, here's where I prep your orders. It's a dedicated space. It gets cleaned down. Here's what I wear to make sure that your orders are clean. I wear a hairnet. I wear a dedicated apron.
You actually did that. You said, welcome to my cookie room. Here's why it looks the way it does. Yeah. I have an air purifier. I disinfect it every day. I do this, that. It's a closed room.
Nobody's allowed in there. No cats, dogs, husband, child.
I like that. So it is like social proof that you're there. Now, Hartford, how can we make it that you do not know she's taking digs about you?
You have to block her.
You got to block her. And you might say, but she'll know. Okay.
That's okay.
And what's the worst case? What we already can see isn't the best.
Yeah.
So if she knows, that will send her off. It could. You will not know. Here's what Corey and I were talking about yesterday as we power walk through the mall, because the Cookie College is doing a steps challenge.
Yeah.
And I'll be power walking after this podcast. I said, yes, it is true that people will copy you. And I hate it when bakers are like, I'm trying everything I'm doing, I'm seeing it replicated.
Yeah.
Sometimes down to even the caption.
Uh-huh.
They're copying you because what they're doing isn't working, so they're trying anything else. What they don't realize is the uniqueness of you is why it works.
Right.
The duplicate will never be better. The knockoff Hermes will never be better than the original.
Yeah.
And your audience can sense that. Yes, they may capture some. How can we get you from stopping seeing it? The cookie world, love it. Also, kind of toxic sometimes. I removed myself from all other cookie groups, except for like Eddie. I like to loiter there and see about EddieCon, which we'll talk about in a second. I removed myself from that. So even if they're saying something about it, as long as I don't read it, it doesn't affect me.
There was an influencer summit that came out, and the influencers were talking, when you get in line where someone's bashing you online.
Is this just random influencers or cookie
Just
influencers?
random influencers. Okay. What's the best course of action? The best course of action that they decided was to ignore it and act like it didn't happen. It turns into a mudslinging fight when you're like, you may have heard on someone's social media profile that I don't have my cottage food license, but I'm here to tell you, set it straight that I do have it.
You just added fuel to that fire.
You added fuel because now they're like, oh, someone's talking about me. Instead, do not even fan their flame. And you will see that it goes out.
Corrie and I will say, if I could, here's what I'd write. And we'll vent it out to each other at Seasons 52 or at Olive Garden. And then we'll be like, but we can never say that because that adds fuel to a fire. We don't want to. And
if you want the fire to go out, to
ignore it.
To quench.
Deprive it of oxygen.
Yes.
And deprive it of your attention.
You can't feed it. If you feed it, it will grow. A lot of times people will bait you to see if you are baiting behavior.
That's what Corrie and I was like. That's baiting behavior. Don't engage.
Yeah, don't engage. But the baiting behavior gets under your skin because you're like, if I could just say this one thing, it would totally, they wouldn't believe one word the other person was saying. That baiting behavior, they're trying to lure you out so they can slam you down. They can twist words and guess what? You're like, that's not what I said. You could have said the perfect sentence and they would have still twisted it to match what they wanted it to be.
I'm going to implement 2 buzzwords. Cognitive dissonance. Because you know what they said is not true, it becomes the only thing you think of because your brain hates having 2 conflicting thoughts.
Yeah.
It becomes the only thing your brain focuses on. You disregard all the people who support and love you and think you're great, and you focus on this one person who will never be satisfied. Nothing you can say will convince them that they are wrong, and they will turn around and, you know what, Corrie? You're great. I don't know why I said that. That will never happen.
No.
You will never get it. Now, and the other one is rumination. Your brain trying to solve, I heard this on a podcast. It said rumination is your brain trying to solve a problem that isn't solvable.
Yeah.
The problem is you'll never get this baker to stop talking ill of you. It's their strategy. It's who they are. It does something for them. So why use that brain power that could be on making that next product or introducing this new thing or teaching a cookie class? Why spend it on something that cannot be solved?
Yeah.
It will never be solved.
Yeah.
I think you got 5 years of proof that Corrie and I really just want to help bakers make more money. In exchange, you pay us. We're able to help bakers make more money. It's a very simplistic business model. In the same 5 years, you've seen people that said, I don't like the twins. And Corrie and I say, well, we didn't really do anything for you not to like us, so that's not a me problem.
Yeah. At the end of the day, if you don't know me, you can't not like me.
You don't like something about you, or you don't like something that you think we represent, but you do not know me. You cannot not like me.
So I never take offense to it because at the end of the day, if you don't know me, you can't not like me.
You can't not like me. However, let me remove myself from being able to read this because it will take you down. It will mess you up.
It will. But so I say block them. Make your content show confidence in your own product without ever referencing them. Focus on the people who do like you because there's a lot more of them than the ones that don't like you.
Do not reference. Do not say this post is because of somebody. You have just added fuel to a fire that will never, it will turn into a forest fire and it will spread rapidly.
Yeah. In the comments, you'll be like, oh, I saw her post. Someone will say, oh, I saw that baker's post. You, my friend, don't respond to it.
Don't engage.
We're not engaging. We're not even in the comment section being like, I know, right? No.
Here's the unfortunate thing. And Corrie and I have been around long enough to see that this play out. When you engage, you do get an influx of engagement. You
do.
Because you engaged.
Yeah.
Engagement. I love other people's drama.
Yeah.
I will figure out both sides and I'll go back months to see who said what when. You will say, well, that's great marketing. It's not. It's a double-edged sword marketing and it's unsustainable.
Yeah.
It may be a short-term bump, but a long-term loss.
Yeah.
You got to trust me on this one. Our next question actually has to do with classes.
Okay.
And it's a very interesting one. I'm following your advice and trying to get the rest of my year of cupcake classes on my calendar.
Nice.
Now, we talk about sugar cookie classes, but she got cupcakes. I'm scared I won't be able to sell enough seats. because of lack of traffic. I have 4 to 6 weeks of marketing effort. Class is $65. I raised it $10 to cover the venue fee. Love that she did the math problem. I have about $50 to use to market the class. So she's got a marketing budget of $50, but I think it's almost going to waste it. It's so little. But can you give me some marketing suggestions, please? I want this to be as successful as I love doing classes. And if classes don't sell out, is it my marketing or is it no interest? People are doing classes around me for 65 to 81, and mine used to be 55, so I feel like I'm no longer the lowest. Please share the better strategies. Then my own thank you. Both of you have been such great advice. This is Deb, the one with all the questions. Deb is going to get, Deb's a great example of consistency. And Deb, I'm actually going to tell you, consistency is key. And Deb, you are consistent. Deb has won so many of these giveaways. Yeah. Because she consistently shows up. And Deb, that's what I'm going to tell you here. You raised your prices to now you're actually still the lowest price.
You are still amongst the lowest. You might not be the lowest. You're still the lowest part.
I'm going to tell you this. I'm dating this guy and he sells cars. And he said, this car, I priced it the lowest. It's the lowest priced car in the nation of this very specific car. Yeah. He said, nobody wanted it. Because what does low price car equal?
Not good.
Not good.
Something's
wrong with it. He raised it $10,000. It sells the next day. Okay. You have raised your prices. So now we're not saying there's something wrong with it, but we're still the lowest here.
But you are, just like everyone, you're, the algorithm rules everything.
Yes.
So what you think is I'm being so annoying. I feel like I'm saying it too much. You're not.
Nobody sees anything. In fact, Corrie and I were talking about this, talking about classes initiative. We challenge ourselves, each of us. Yeah. There's 2 of us, each day, every day. So that'll be 60 different content types. 60, that's overwhelming. No, because this one's a podcast and a YouTube video. I did a Get Ready With Me live this morning, which archives. Corrie made a group post about it. Now she could make a story on TikTok. I could make a story on Instagram. I could make a Facebook page post, a group post, a newsletter. You see that taking 60 pieces of content and stripping it down to these different channels actually makes it very little content. Yeah. In fact, Corrie will probably hit Instagram stories 3 times. I may do 2 Get Ready With Me's. If I have an audience member who loves a Get Ready With Me, they only see me twice.
Absolutely. That's just twice. Mm-hmm. But you're like, so that's why, Deb, I know you're on Instagram, you're on Facebook. Are you in the stories? Are you in community groups? Are you running ads? There's so many different avenues to get it out there. So I'm going to sneeze. I'm so sorry.
Sneeze, girl. Risky click to laugh before a sneeze. It could have thrown the sneeze off. Nothing. A part of me dies when a sneeze doesn't happen. I know. So what, Corrie, to kind of pick off where she sneezed at us, we all are infected now, by the way. To pick up where she left off is you got $50. Now you may say, I think Facebook will eat it. It will. It will eat it. If you tell it $50. Could I say I'm going to give away a class ticket in a community group and I'll pick the winner? Yeah. That would mean to me, and I can also run the same giveaway on my page, right? I could do that because the $50 is your cost. Your profit because we're giving away a seat. Sure. But that would be better marketing in terms of a lot of people want to win something for free. That's not our target audience. The people who see that the people want to win something for free are our target audience. We take the fall guy because, free people don't like to pay. Sure. I'm one of those people. But the other people who are like, I'm not going to win, but I didn't know there was cupcake classes.
Yeah. So there's a lot of avenues for you out there.
We're also entering in a season where people do like baked goods. Halloween, the Burr months, people like and now if your themes kind of match that, you can really capitalize on that hype. Yeah. Taylor Swift is coming out in October, so if you have a September class, make it orange. Yes. Cupcakes are a little different because you don't follow themes as much as cookies do, but they're still the same kind of.
For sure.
Okay, last one. Sending again this week. Fingers crossed. You didn't win, so send it again next week. I like the consistency, though. Yeah. Hey, twins, is Kaylee J from Glendale, Arizona, and here's my entry for the month of the Cookie Design Lab membership. Strap in because it's a long 2-parter. It's not that long. She's got it numerically listed, I love it. First part is a question for Heather. I have an Autodesk subscription, and I know how to design my own cutters, and I occasionally make other 3D print organizational things. Love that. However, I am lazy, and I love cost saving. What is the most cost effective and better for business? The Autodesk subscription, which is Fusion 360, or the Cookie Design Lab subscription? Okay, Cookie Design Lab makes cookie cutters. That's all it does. Here's the thing. You're paying for Autodesk, but it has a personal use one. If you're not selling the thing that you make, I don't believe that you have to pay for that. I'm actually going to be bold here and say most people are not paying for it. Autodesk is very strict about its licensing now.
Yeah.
Now to open the app, I have to go and verify, I have to do a text code. However, if you're just printing for stuff for your at-home stuff and you're not selling the cookie cutter, I believe that you still fall within their free use personal plan. If you're selling your cookie cutters, no, I think that changes a lot of things.
Yeah.
If you want to save on money, it's going to be the Cookie Design Lab. It's they have a week plan for $5. You can use code TWINS for 15% off. Obviously, you can keep texting in. I feel like you might be lucky next week. I feel like it. So what I would do, you can always reboot subscriptions. That's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to just cancel it for a month. Try Cookie Design Lab. See if it fills in the gap of what you're looking for. If you're barely printing anything, of course, you're designing your own. You can still buy the STL and print them without, these help things.
Yeah.
If you're really keen on designing your own things, you're going to need to use Fusion 360. If you're doing that once every couple of months, I would probably get Cookie Design Lab.
Yeah. Nice. Was there a question for me?
There was. Second part is for both of you. Here's a few questions, and I'm sure people are dying to know. 1, do you put milk in before or after cereal?
After.
Yeah. I need to know how much cereal there is.
Cereal to milk ratio.
I don't want the milk telling me what to do.
The problem with the milk is the cereal floats on top of it. You don't have a true knowledge of what's in the bowl when it's floating. So I need the cereal in first, pour the milk in there so I can see what the levels are.
I'm telling you this, and you can tell me. We used to spend the night at my grandparents' house. If you want to see what my grandmother looks like, Corey had her on a taste test this morning on Instagram.
Yeah.
And TikTok.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would come over, Rice Krispies, not flavored. Put them in, put milk on them. I would want every crispy to be submerged. Then this is what I shouldn't have done. I should have been watched. I was in unwild.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're going to say.
The sugar.
The sugar.
I would put sugar in until the sugar crusted and broke the milk. And then I'd be like, that's enough. And yes, at the end of the cereal bowl was a tremendous amount of sugar. And it was the best thing I've ever had in my life.
Milky sugar.
Number 2, have you ever accidentally called a teacher mom or dad in school?
These are crazy questions.
These are
They
great
love
questions.
them.
No, I said, please don't tell my mom or my dad in school. We went to private religious schools, so we had really tiny classes.
Very tiny.
Very tiny. And we knew the teachers not only from the church we went to, but in the class.
Yeah.
And then they taught multiple classes. So now I call Mr. G, Mr. G.
Mr. G.
Please don't give me that. Number 3, are either of you left-handed or do you know anyone who is left-handed?
My son is left-handed.
Really? Dad, our father, is right-handed.
Ambidextrous.
That's what he can do 2 things at the same time. He writes with his left hand. He eats with his right hand. This explains his personality.
Yeah. My son's left-handed. Unfortunately, it takes after his father.
Funny. Is Nate right or left-handed?
Right-handed.
But Corey and I, if you made me write something with my left hand, you would think a small kindergartner took over my body. 4, what was your go-to lunch in school as a kid? Packed lunch or cafeteria food? Again, private school, we didn't have cafeteria food.
They did.
You'd have to pay.
It was very expensive.
It was those little pizzas that you can get at Walmart.
Or a hamburger warmed up in a bag.
One of the best things. So we always had a peanut butter sandwich, a small cup of water, a cracker, and a sweet treat.
Yeah. Sometimes we did bologna and cheese sandwiches. I
never
still
did.
eat those to this day.
I do not like bologna and cheese.
No?
Never once did I ever have a bologna and cheese.
Oh, I loved a piece of bologna, a piece of cheese, 2 slices of bread. I still eat
Any
it.
condiment?
Yeah.
But peanut butter and the bread that has the Italian flag on it.
Yes.
I forget what it is. If I eat that now, my stomach hurts so badly.
Oh, I love that bread. I still get it.
It has me in a chokehold. It's the only thing I want to
so
eat. But if I
good.
eat it, I'm be like doubled over as a small
The
shrimp.
good thing about that bread is when you take a bite, it squishes it so
It's a
much.
sponge,
Like
no
you
bread.
could see where your teeth marks were.
No
in it.
other bread touches that bread. Number 5, last one. Do you remember the first CD you ever bought for yourself? Okay, wild thing. My parents are very strict. Remember, religious school, so we weren't allowed to listen to music
At all.
Right. So
If
I
wasn't at a hymnal.
when I was 19, still lived with my parents. I bought a bunch of CDs and I would hide them in my desk drawer at work. And I think
You
it was like
rebellious
Fall Out
person.
Boy, and it was Pink when she was in her heyday. It was probably original Taylor Swift when she was still country.
Yeah.
What about you?
Can't remember. I think I was dating my husband at the time, no longer at home.
Her
and-
ex-husband.
Yeah. Sorry. And I think he
We're
liked,
together.
I think I was trying to be popular and he liked those heavy metal bands. I want to say it was Metallica, unfortunately.
Okay, I want to let you know.
That's
whenever
not who I
Corey-
am as a
No, when I get in Corey's car, I'll be like, oh, is there like an interlude playing? And do you have the radio on? She's like, no, I'm listening to Bach, Beethoven. Like, just
Yeah.
the weirdest stuff
Yeah.
we listen to now.
a little piano. A little piano.
If you have a Spotify subscription, you can search the word on repeat and actually pull up the playlist of your most played songs in the last X amount of days. And I do it to my sisters, and Corrie is just unpredictable. Unpredictable. And then she said, thanks again for all you do. You're the most hardworking twins I sort of know.
Thanks so much for your questions.
That was very fun.
Those are good.
If you want to text in, Kaylee, text in. In a Cookie Design Lab. Your odds are ever in your favor. It is 571-556-5644. Or if you're on some podcast players, you can say text in and it'll go to the same place.
Nice.
Corrie.
Go through our sponsors.
No.
What?
We have a Facebook Live. We have
some
events.
Facebook Live.
We actually have a collab.
We had a collab, and I want to say it went fantastic. I want to say, for mine, everyone knows I went to Graffiti Cat Pizza.
Right.
I did an onslaught. That day, they felt so much love from me. I made a Google review, a Facebook review, a video in a community group, a video on my social profiles. The collab, I did it on my Facebook page, and in the Big Foodies group, I highlighted them too.
I feel like you did it in another group, a collectives group.
In a collectives group, I did it. That day. They opened the next day because it's only a 2-day kind of thing. They sold out. They said we've been busier more than we've ever been.
And how could it not be related? Of course, they shared everything you posted.
They did.
But that wasn't the goal. The goal was that people know Corrie does corporate orders.
Yeah.
And I thought it went fantastic. I really liked your results. They were very stoked.
Yeah, they were very, very nice.
We have another collab coming up. Now, this one's a little bit, it's not complex. It's a little bit more involved, though. It's actually less complex, more involved.
We're getting you off your buns and into reels.
And so I know that all our collabs have a marketing component to it. Yeah. This past one was getting corporate orders. This one is making a reel. Now, this wasn't my idea. You can take Lisa down with this one. But I like the idea. What we're going to do in the last Friday of September is you're going to blindfold yourself, and Corey's going to make an example video for us, right?
I'll try.
You're going to blindfold yourself, and you're going to pipe a pumpkin onto a white circle cookie. It's a funny thing because it's supposed to be ugly.
Right now, what's trending on TikTok for the past few months is people adding either icing to a cupcake or icing to a latte. Blindfolded. And adding sprinkles to the top. So we said, how can we transfer this into kind of a cookie way? And this will be funny. Your cookie will look horrible. You're blindfolded.
And your audience will love to see what the baker makes this stupid looking pumpkin.
The marketing aspect is you getting in front of the camera. You are the secret ingredient that people are buying from.
Right now, it's a Reels world and we're just living in it.
Yeah. And that's a great way that someone's going to watch from the beginning to the end. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to show you how I'll edit mine and what I use to edit mine. So
people are asking, are we recording ourselves? Here's what I say. You can record yourself and just readjust the camera. Say, hey guys, this is what we're doing, this collab, and of course I'll help you with the caption.
Yeah.
But in the video, I'd say, hey guys, we're doing this fun thing. I'm going to blindfold myself and try to decorate a pumpkin. So watch why I move the camera to adjust it toward this cookie, and I'm going to let's see what it turns out to be.
Yes.
That's simple. Don't overthink this one. The goal is to post a video to Instagram. Yeah. By nature of Instagram and how it works, every video is converted to a reel. Yeah. So you will be posting what could be your first reel. Yeah. And a bunch of bakers will come and engage with you. And bakers love to see bakers. We love to see faces. We love to see blindfolding. This is going to be so funny.
Absolutely. It'll be hilarious.
And Corey's going to do that. So that will be on September 26th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. If you go to the events tab in the Sugar Cookie Marketing Group, you can register and get some email reminders that include some copy help.
Nice. I know Bonnie Bradley's up next.
Bonnie Bradley is up. She is Do You Want to Pop with Bonnie Bradley. And she's actually doing a pumpkin theme as well.
Oh, nice.
A pumpkin cake pop. So she has an interesting membership as well. Doors open and close. Her doors just open. I got the email. And she always times those. She graciously adds a Facebook Live to tell you how to make a cake pop. And at the end, if you want to join her cake pop membership.
I want to say, if you are thinking about cake pops, Bonnie Bradley will give you a recipe. Before she does this, it is worth it.
So sorry, I actually think she gave
it. It is a fantastic recipe. If you were just getting into K-pops, it works so well. I have just used it and abused it.
What is the secret?
You'll have to tune into her Facebook Live and find out.
We get that little recipe, which comes as an attachment to my job form. And so that will actually be this Thursday.
Nice.
And her recipe. Where it is? Ever11 job forms and these things. I found it. I'll post this right now into the group. She says start with a vanilla, white, or vanilla cake base. Yeah. Okay. Once the cake is cooled, mix in the following to create a different flavor. The sky's the limit. Here's a few examples. So she's got chocolate chip cookie dough, chopped up chocolate chips. Easy. Yeah. Cookies and cream, Oreos, Fruity Pebbles, Reese Cups, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Lucky Charms, Funfetti, or Confetti. And that will be her Facebook Live. Did I tell you when that was?
You said this Thursday.
Did I tell you what time it was?
You did not.
11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. She's actually doing it for an hour and a half. She's gone a little longer, so she is here to win it.
Nice.
Okay, Corey, now let's go through our
sponsors. Yeah. Eddie, not just talking about the machine himself, Eddie Con. Yes. Which is if you're familiar with CookieCon, this is similar to it, but it's everything about Eddie. So EddieCon is happening in Orlando in January.
So it's happening in January 9th and 10th. Registration is still wide open. They're an early bird registration, so you get a discount. That price will change or they'll sell out.
Yeah.
But that is coming up. So we have EddieCon Primera. Let me see. You can go to primera.com/EddieCon 2026. Let me just read some stuff here. Please join Primera for our first annual EddieCon. And you guys got a lot of pop-ups here, Freddie. I'm at the bottom.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got a lot of information on this page. So it's everything Friday, January 9th to Saturday, January 10th at the DoubleTree by Hilton Orlando at SeaWorld.
Nice.
What a great excuse. Join us for 2 full days of Eddie classes and technical training designed to make you a success with Eddie. Perfect for beginners and intermediate users. And the hotel rate, 2 queen room, is $137 a night.
That's pretty good. And what they're having is people who have really just manifested Eddie and really used him to his utmost abilities are going to be the ones coming there and teaching. So you have the best of the biz. And I've seen them on TikTok. They're just using Eddie in the coolest ways.
And these are 9 to 5 days. These are 9 to 5 class days.
Nice.
Yeah, so there's a lot there. And then they have a bunch of the instructors there.
That's fantastic. Next up, Royal Batch by Bakety Bake. Code TWIN saves you 10%. It is a meringue powder. It's the one that I use, and I absolutely have used it and loved it for years now. It has vanilla extract, white food coloring in it, and corn syrup. And corn syrup is something you add to give it a softer bite. Okay. So as you've seen, I've done this taste test challenge, this 2-week taste test challenge on both Instagram and TikTok. People have asked what kind of meringue powder you use, and that is what I use because it has those 3 ingredients in it already. So I don't have to do much to it. When I whip it up.
Like it. Cookie Design Lab is a sponsor. They're also the sponsor of the STL Me About It segment, but it is a very, very, very easy to use STL web-based app. And I think they're still running their sale, but if not, code TWINS 15% off.
Yeah. Daisy Pops Innovations is her cake pop mold. And I'm pretty sure
they've announced the next year's What's Popping Gone, but go on.
Oh, that's no way. They did. Okay, well, Daisy Pop Innovation is cake pop molds. And I know Bonnie Bradley loves them and uses them often. So she might be using them on Thursday if you want to tune in to see how they look. I'm not quite sure if she's going to use them. I just know she has sent them in her boxes that she does. What it does is cake pop mold. So traditional cake pops were circular. They were heavy. They fell off the sticks. They were very frustrating. I do know this for a fact. These cake pop molds are flat, so they almost resemble. The
ingredients of cake pops is tears of bakers.
Oh, the tears of bakers.
That's how it makes it stick together.
It's the combiner, the binder as they call it. These cake pop molds, you roll the dough flat like you would do a sugar cookie, and these cake pop molds are flat on either side. It gives less weight to the cookie, and you can do more shapes. So I ordered a tooth because my son's getting his braces done. And she had ghosts, which were very cute. Someone just got a Christmas tree. I thought it was adorable.
Love it.
Absolutely adorable.
Baking Me Crazy, code favorite TWIN, 10% off. It is baking supplies. They're coming back for the Vendy Blendy as well. Vendy Blendy on the brain. I'll be announcing that actually next week, getting the vendors lined up, but I got a lot of verbal yeses.
Nice. Baking Me Crazy, if you want a one-stop shop to get a lot of ingredients.
I love a one-stop shop, especially when I can run a discount code on it. It heals me when the discount code
and when the shipping isn't 52 different places.
So that's why these one-stop shops are so beneficial.
So if you were thinking about, getting the sprinkles for your DIY kits for Halloween, 'tis now is the time to order that.
It is that time.
Yeah, because you don't want to order it a week before Halloween and then not come into Halloween.
Right, I hate that. And you also do your marketing ahead of time.
Yeah.
Right. Last, not a sponsor, but definitely an affiliate code, Sugar Cookies, if you go to Bosch or Nutrimilk. Now, I know that they run a Black Friday sale. They run it earlier than Black Friday. I'll be posting about that as well.
Nice.
It'll be a discount, and you can still use that affiliate code. It gives us $20 back. We're able to pour that back into the group because them door prizes ain't free, girl.
Do you have a Twinterest?
I bought my cat a
cat tower.
It turned out to be a tower. It was supposed to be a 10. It turned out to be a 3-story building.
Cathedral.
It is massive. Okay, so I have this tiny, tiny cat named Munch who is always looking for attention.
Yeah.
it is hard to kind of work with his unbridled meowing.
Attention-seeking behavior.
But it's becoming nicer in the DMV, the DC metropolitan area.
Yeah.
His leaves are falling. Birds are chirping.
Gorgeous.
So I thought it would be an interesting idea to get him a cat tent. $100.
$100.
Right. Here's the thing. I hated the whole experience of $100.
Yeah.
But if anything doesn't work for my cat, everyone in our family has cats, so I pass it on.
You do.
So I assembled it last night.
He got in it.
What put him in it?
Well, he crawled up to the 3rd floor.
It was a little help. He sat in it unvexed, but I really did. I got in the tent myself because I needed to prove.
I don't believe he's going to love it.
I don't know. My mom really wants it, so.
Yeah.
She wants to let her cats outside who love being outside. I'm not sure. Munch has never been outside. He looks outside a lot.
Yeah.
I'm going to try it for a week, see if we can get him into the concept of it. If not, then collapsing. It does collapse down into a bag like this big. It is actually almost as tall as me, which is kind of
5
insane.
5 feet tall.
It was insane.
Crazy.
3 levels. I actually had a sunshade. I didn't even install that.
Yeah.
But it was pretty easy to set up.
I'll be so curious if he likes it.
Curioso. Me, you, and Munch are curious.
Munch, the most curious of us all.
Most curious. Now, what is your 20?
I'm doing the 2-week taste test challenge that's turned into 25 days. I will say, if you didn't want to tune in for it, cookies do stay fresh in their heat sealed bags for 2 weeks.
And Corrie let me have a piece. She actually had my grandmother on it today, our grandmother, but she gave me a piece. I think, and here's the thing, I love a freshly piped cookie.
You do.
Don't even want that.
Heather likes it when the icing is still gooey.
That's
your favorite.
That's not when I like it. That's when I love it.
Yeah.
Even though I'm like, my stomach is screaming, please no. I'm like, no, I'm going to eat more of it.
Yeah.
I had the 19-day-old one. It tastes very fresh to me. Maybe you could say that the dough has a little bit more crack to it.
It's not, you can tell it is there. It is not day made fresh.
No, and I can taste older icing. Like, it doesn't taste when you just come out the pipe bag. True. Meringue powder burns off, whatever they say. I thought it was delicious.
Yeah.
I would have eaten the crap out of that, but I also like Cheryl's cookies, so maybe it's me.
So we're at day 19. Would I give that to a client? 19-day-old cookies? No, I would not.
They're heat sealed, by the way.
They're heat sealed. Yeah, that's the thing. So, but some people are like, oh, I've had them for a year from now. I'm like, hopefully the mold spores.
Can you save the 25th one and just save it for 6 months?
Yeah. I guess I've never eaten a cookie that old. I always give them away before they get that old.
One time, somebody ordered a DIY kit and they never picked it up and you left it here. And I swear I had it for a month and I ate it all.
But it was a naked cookie then.
Okay.
He didn't have anything sealing them in there.
He was sealed.
Yeah, but not with icing. There was no
you
icing
think the
cap.
icing's going to be the killer part?
No, I think the icing holds in the moisture longer.
And I like naked cookies.
My husband loves a naked cookie.
That's not the only thing.
I love the naked Corrie. I mean, cookie. Just kidding. Oh, you might have to edit that one
so
out.
funny. Ashley did that podcast that other day, and I was like, "What's your twin twist?" And she's like, "What the heck is that?" I was like, "Well, you don't listen to them at all. At least you turn it off at the end." So that takes us through that. Check back into the Sugar Cookie Marketing Group to join the collab, but also to get that cookie class content because it's going to be all things about it: the good, the bad, the ugly, the best, the worst, the sweaty. Oh my goodness, I left the icy bags in the fridge at home. Can you go get them?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why our partner was good.
And then why Corrie sped and used that she was married to a police officer, so she didn't get pulled over. Bye.